Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, Anne. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
good.
I see you got your book ready. We're gonna wait
I
for people to
do.
come in.
I do. I haven't picked anything out, but I could just randomly open it and start reading because we've really enjoyed pretty much well, I think we've enjoyed everything he's written so far.
Yep.
I was looking, he's written some other books, so we'll be set for a while. But so let's see what December 30th will bring us. Ta da, ta da, ta da, ta da. Ooh.
Oh, right at the front of the page, too.
Huh. Well, this is Gummy Lump, and it's about Valentine's Day. Should we save this or just go ahead and read it?
Um,
I'll find another one because we're always looking for something for Valentine's Day. Okay, let's see. We should probably wait until folks maybe come in.
yeah, give it a little bit of time. So, did you have a nice Christmas?
I did. It was quiet and fun, lots of laughs, good food, good drink, obviously, and got nice gifts. I got this beautiful bracelet,
Oh, nice.
and it matches this ring that I've had for a couple of years. So I don't even know that
That's really
Tedder, as he's known, knew that I had the ring, but that's Mo's son, Tedder.
cool.
So,
Our snow is finally melting here.
yeah, I guess it's supposed to be a heat up.
Yeah, it's about 50 right now, and it's supposed to have rain on and off.
Yeah. And then I guess Ryan, all y'all, Ryan is saying that I guess there's going to be some crazy weather coming because of the warm up,
Oh.
because
I
of the
haven't watched him lately, so I don't know. You'll have to give me the ins and outs of it.
I haven't watched him. I haven't watched him. I was just, looking at his map and it's all red, meaning that it's heating up. And that I guess I'm assuming that. Hey, Beth Schuler. Good morning to you, and hi, Gail AC.
Hi, Gail and Beth.
So nice to see you guys this morning. I hope you're well.
Hi, Janet.
Hey, Janet. Good morning to you too. So lovely to see you. It really is. And we were just sitting here waiting for some folks to come in, and so we weren't all alone. And so we were just talking about our Christmases. Hey, Brenda. Let's see. I was watching Carol's channel to go live. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. We ended up over here this morning.
Yeah, well, I did put it in the chat that, everybody to come over here. So they all already have your link. So if you went there and you seen my chat, it has the link for Anne.
Okay. Oh, 54 degrees where Brenda is, and she took her dog for a mile walk. How lovely. 54 is very comfortable this time of year. And of course, I'm in Florida, so I don't count really. But I have to say, on Christmas morning, for about 5 minutes, it snowed in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Did you get any snow, Beth, where you were? I mean, it was about 5 minutes, so it didn't last very long. But that was pretty funny. We all got excited. And oh, look, it's snowing, it's snowing. It was really, honestly, a mixture of hail and snow, but it was white stuff that came down from the sky. And I took a picture, and so that was kind of interesting. So a little bit of snow in Florida. All righty. How about we'll read census.
All right, I'm going to mute while you read.
Okay, census is a real short one. I guess these are all. Okay. All right, census. Oh, pass it on. All right, census. Here we go. I'm glad you found us. Yes. Good morning, Rebecca. And you're practicing for tomorrow. Good for you. All righty. 66. Yeah, that's about what it is here, too, Beth. All right, census from Robert Fulgrim's book, All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. There is a clay tablet in the British Museum that's dated about 3800 BC. It's Babylonian, a census report, a people count to determine tax revenues. The Egyptians and the Romans conducted census counts, and there's William the Conqueror's famous Doomsday Book, compiled in England in 1085. This need to know how many of us there are is old. In our own country, the census dates from 1790. Counting people tells some interesting things, especially since computers enable us to extrapolate trends into the future. Take this, for example. If the population of the Earth were to increase at the present rate indefinitely, by AD 3530, the total mass of human flesh and blood would equal the mass of the Earth. And by AD 6826, the total mass of human flesh and blood would equal the mass of the known universe. Boggles the mind, doesn't it? That's a lot of meat. Or consider this one. The total population of the Earth at the time of Julius Caesar was 150 million. The population increase in 2 years on Earth today is 150 million. Or bring it down even into a smaller chunk. In the time it takes you to read this, about 500 people will die and about 680 people will be born. That's about 2 minutes worth of life and death. The statisticians figure that about 70 billion people have been born so far. And as I said, there's no telling how many more there will be, but it looks like a lot. And yet, here comes the statistic of statistics. With all the possibilities for variation among the sex cells produced by each person's parents, it seems quite certain that each one of the billions of human beings who has ever existed has been distinctly different from every other human being, and that this will continue for an infinite future. In other words, if you were to line up on one side of the earth every human being who ever lived or ever will live, you took a good look at the whole motley crew, you wouldn't find anybody exactly like you. Now wait, there's more. If you were to line up on the other side of the earth every other living human, every other living thing that ever was or will be, you'd find that the creatures on the people side would be more like you than anything over on the other side. I don't understand that. Finally, there was a famous French criminologist named Émile Locard. And 70 years ago, he came up with something called Locard's exchange principle. It says something to the effect that any person passing through a room will unknowingly deposit something there and take something away. Modern technology proves it. Dandruff, a hair, a fingerprint, things like that remain. Fulgrim's exchange principle extends Locard's thinking. Every person passing through this life will unknowingly leave something and take something away. Most of this something cannot be seen or heard or numbered or scientifically detected or counted. It's what we leave in the minds of other people and what they leave in ours. Memory. The consensus doesn't count it. Nothing counts without it. That's true. They can't take a consensus of our memory. Interesting. Some of those statistics are just mind-boggling, aren't they? Just crazy and mind-boggling. So that's the census. They take it, they've taken it every single 10 years since 1790. It was written into the Articles of Confederation, which was our first a government document, and then we wrote the Constitution. So 1790, they started counting people, and usually the purpose is, well, taxes. It's all about taxes. Okay, folks. So this is the fabulous Fiber Art Friday, and I think I got the title right this time, right?
I didn't look.
Because I always screw it up. No, I did.
Yeah, it's the hashtag thing that
I did. I wrote hashtag Fiber Art Friday.
Yeah, awesome. I didn't. I have to look. I didn't look at the title. I just scooped the chat and came over.
Well, I for some reason I've got a mental block about this hashtag thing. I can't figure it out. I don't know how it works, and I really kind of don't really understand its purpose. But Carol keeps on patiently trying to explain to me how important it is that it creates a consistency so people can find us. And I will hopefully someday do it correctly. But I think I got it right. See, Janet has it. See? Yes, Janet's smiling. So all right.
So if everybody uses that hashtag when we do our videos, if you just put that hashtag in, you'll see our videos come up, as we're doing them. Even if they aren't like on a same project, you'll see every project, everything that's done for Fiber Art Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's an identifier.
Yes, it will. Everything that we've done, when you pull that hashtag up, all of our videos will come up, and whoever else uses that hashtag. So you'll get a variety, right?
Hopefully, yeah. Sounds cool. Well, today, since it's Fiber Art Friday, I showed Carol something that I made. I think I made this last year, and I made 2 of them. And I very rarely make stuff to give away. But I made 2 of them, and I gave one of these to my sister-in-law. And I said to her, I said, gee, would you mind if I tried to replicate this on Fiber Art Friday? And she said, sure. So what it is a, whoops, let me get Becky in here. Hi, Beck. There you are.
There she is.
There she is. So what it is it's a pocket, a book to put in your pocketbook or your back pocket. I made it small enough. And what I did was, it's basically 6 by 6. And it is made up of, tiny little scraps of fabric. And this fabric was fabric that I'd gotten from Rosemary Morris. I had bought literally a bag of African fabric scraps, and very colorful. And I just started randomly stitching it together. You can see my stitches aren't fancy. Like Carol's are basically straight stitches. I used pretty much the same color spread, orange, and there's some red. And I did a little satin thing here. And I added some beads. You can barely see the beads, but there's some beads here. And then on the inside, I filled the inside with fabric also. I put this sticker on saying this book belongs to, and I don't really like that. I wouldn't do, well, there you go. Don't like that. So I'll take it out. Just rip it out. So you can see the inside is all fabric. And then I went through and got random, pieces of paper, right? Through my paper collection. And here's some notes I took. And then I bound it. And I left the thing kind of long so you could have a little marker in and put a little charm at the end of it. And then I glued a calendar on the back of it. And then here in the middle, I punched a hole. And I put a rivet, or grommet, and then I put a piece of elastic. And then I put, obviously, the calendar thing, and I stitched this in with my sewing machine, and I made that the closure. So that's and you can see I've opened it quite a bit. It's all frayed and everything. It kind of looks really worn. So that's what I thought we would attempt to make today. So, you've got some scraps. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember what's on the inside of this. I thought it might be a piece of foam, not the sticky foam, but I can't really see what's in there, and I don't really want to rip it apart. I don't think it's a piece of felt. You can use a piece of cardboard. Thank you, Brenda. So I have a couple of substrates that we can use, and I was going through my scraps. I've got these beautiful vintage bags that came from Johnny, and they're filled with all sorts of scraps. And there's a whole bunch of options. I was thinking about it this morning. You could just take a piece of material, one piece of material that's 6 by 6, and don't use scraps. Just have one, or have a single piece of fabric on the inside. But I just kind of like the variety. Again, I love this African fabric, and I don't have any of it left. So this could be used. I have this, which is just card weight, because it's going to be covered on both sides. It's going to be covered on both sides with fabric, and this would be easy to sew through. So that's one option. Let's get it. I did find one more. I found another piece of the foam. This is that your stuff you buy at the Dollar Tree. I was told. Hi, Gail. Hi, Nettie. Good morning.
Hi, Nettie.
If you use the the foam stuff that's got the sticky back, then that can gum up. Especially if you're going to sew in your sewing machine, that gums up the whole works, and it's hard to kind of sew through. But this would be fine if it's 6 by 6. Actually, it can be any size you want. And then this possibly would work. I have to get out my. Ooh. Okay. All my stuff. Well, kind of, And this would work really well. It's corrugated cardboard, and it's really bendy. And this would give it some interesting texture. You could give that on the inside. I would have this on the outside, and maybe this on the inside. And I think this would hold up too. And it obviously bends really well. So that's an option. So, piece of corrugated cardboard, or some foamy without the sticky stuff. What's that? Okay. Or a piece of craft paper. This is the packaging for the, I subscribe to Uppercase Magazine, and they always send their packaging without any plastic, and they always encourage us to recycle this. So I always cut it and make it so I can use it again. So I don't know. Why don't we, I bet you most of you, if you're going to make it, are probably going to have some sort of paper. I don't know, probably many of you don't have foam on hand. So why don't I use something that is readily available, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to do 6 by 6.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Pencil, please. All right. So I'm just going to cut out a 6 by 6 square. And cut that out. Again, it doesn't have to be. This is kind of, doesn't have to be perfect. And I think when you do it like, 6 by 6 or 7 by 7, I think the 6 by 6 is a nice size. I can stick this in my back pocket. It fits in my purse. I carry a very small purse. Coffee done. Yes. I usually make a a big pot of coffee in my old Farberware percolator. And then I put it in the refrigerator in a glass container. So I have, basically iced coffee every morning. But I'm cold. I wish I had made hot coffee this morning. I don't know. It's not cold, but I'm cold. So here, this would be it. And let's fold this in half. See what that looks like. Yep, that's about the right size. And by the time we add our material on, we're good. So the next thing to do, right, is to get rid of all of this. And of course, when you're crafting and streaming, you know what you do with all this stuff? You throw it on the floor. And then when you're done, you go, oh my God, I am such a mess. So now I'm going to start looking for bits and pieces. I mean, if you have some material like this, you could stamp on the material. I mean, you could do this could be a whole thing stamped. I like to piece together the bits and pieces, and then I like to see, the different stitches, kind of that Frankenstein look. And let's see what we got. Oh, look, look, I have a little tiny piece of the African. Oh, that's got to go in here. So this is kind of like a puzzle, a fun mosaic of good stuff. And you can layer up. Here is this is a stamp, like a postage stamps. I put on a little piece of fabric that could go on. This is something that Carol turned me on to. There was a stitching class that lasted a week, and you made marks on fabric, and then you put it all together, and then you sewed. And I never got that far, but I did make some marks on fabric, and I kind of like this little piece here. So I'm going to cut that out. Let me get my fabric scissors. I never get to use my fabric scissors, but I'm very good. They're only used for fabric. Shannon Green said these were her favorite scissors. So I got them a while ago. And boy, fabric scissors are something else. They just cut on just a totally different way than any other scissors. Now, I know there's other scissors out there, like what is there? Guggenheim? Is that the name of a really good pair of scissors? I think Deb Farrell has Guggenheim, and I guess there's other really fancies. All right, now I'm sorry.
I have Gingers.
Oh, Gingers. Okay, that's the other one I was thinking of, Gingers. Oh, the other thing I found. Now I don't know what this would work, but it would kind of be. I'm not going to do it today, but I might mess around. It's a canvas bag that I'm not sure. Maybe coins came in, maybe, but if you folded this in half, right? And if you extend it, I guess you'd have to extend these to a point where you could use them as something that you could close the little pocket journal. That would be interesting, and make a pocket journal out of this, right? And then sew material on that, and then you'd have a little pocket. But then you'd have to maybe open up this. I would open the stitches so you could get at it. So maybe on second thought, it's not such a good idea. Throw that out. No, I'm not throwing it out. Now this fabric, and Becky's here. So Becky, I'm pretty sure this is from you. Correct? The kitties?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to have some kitties. So I'm going to cut out some kitties, but I don't want all squares, So I'm going to kind of cut something maybe rectangular. All right. I like the kitties. This is really cute fabric. Do you remember where you got this?
Joann's.
Joann's, okay. Joann's.
Hi, Dixie.
Hi, Dixie. Good morning to you. So I hope some of you have some scraps around and maybe a piece of cardboard. maybe, that you can play around with. Let me look in my, and I guess you could put lace. And again, we're going to do the inside. Carol, I found some of that stuff. What was the name of that stitching thing that we went to? Stitch school.
Yeah. Something, I can't remember. It was a stitch something. Yeah, I don't remember. It's on my scroll.
Yeah. Well, here are some pieces that I did that I never did anything with, but these are pieces that I made marks on, and I kind of like some of them. So I cut a piece of that up to add into this. And okay, here's let's see what's in here. I'm really looking for little pieces. Let's go. Let's reach down into here. So if you haven't been through your scraps in a while, it can be fun. See, look what I just found. That's perfect. Look at that. Oh. All right. What other goodies are in here? It's not too exciting. I mean, I know any good. Oh, look, this is all interesting. Maybe I'll cut that out. Just a little piece here and there. Let's stick this here. And you notice I'm not worrying too much about colors or things like that. And then if you want some color, right, you can vary the type of thread that you use. Ooh.
So are we doing the inside of the cover first?
Oh, I was going to do the outside first, but I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
And then on the inside, you maybe want to, yeah. So this is, that's Halloween. I'm not going to use the Halloween, but I like it. It says something of sharing, but it's got the of sharing in it. So, look at this. Do you know what this is? Isn't that a piece of Madras? Remember Madras shirts?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what that's a piece of. I have a piece of it. That was the in thing, when I was in school. Oh, look at that. I like that. You had to have Madras. You had to have a Madras shirt to be cool. I don't know. When I was going to school, there were really two groups of students. They were like the collegiate students who wore the button-down Oxford shirts and the penny loafers. And then there were what were known as, this is a horrible term, but they were known as the greasers, like the hoods with the leather jackets and the rolled up cigarettes in their T-shirts, their white T-shirts. And that was pretty much the two distinct groups of people. I don't know how that was. I mean, I'm old, so I'm talking, I was in high school in the 60s, so I don't know whether that was still around when you guys were in school or whether there were those distinctive groups. Let's see, I'm looking for something that's kind of colorful. We could stick that there with a little grape, right? And actually, if you wanted to, you could wrap that around. Now, I'm going to just get some thread. Now, obviously, the quickest way to do this is get out the sewing machine. But I don't want to do that because I didn't use the sewing machine on the other one. I only used the sewing machine. I don't know. Oh, maybe when I attached, I don't know what I did now that I'm thinking about it. That's the sewing machine right there. I can see the sewing machine. I don't know when I still, yeah.
I said, Howard, you butthead. Sorry, I forgot my mic was on. Don't knock my computer off.
Howard, be good.
Stop.
All right, we need some colorful thread. And let's see. This is my little thread set. You know, I bought one of those sets, those kits, and it had, I don't know, all this floss, and I stupidly took all of the little numbers off the floss. I didn't think they were important. Well, I guess they're really not, but they are kind of.
Only if you're doing cross stitch.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that. Well, okay, then I'm not okay. And these are my magnetic Singer needles. I like these because they're short, but they have big eyes in them. All right, I think a bright kind of a yellow would look nice with the black and white. So I think I'm going to take that to start with.
Hi,
And
Calico Kate, Kathy.
good morning, Kathy. And I think I'm looking at that stitch, and it looks like I probably did 2 strands. That looks about right for this. And that's another nice thing, you know, when you can, if you're using floss. There's typically what, 6 strands, I think, in a.
Yep.
That's standard,
And
isn't it?
for the DMC, yeah.
So I think I'll use 2. Well, you could use anything you wanted. And I always have. I've discovered the hard way that the best way for these not to tangle is not to have a really long piece. I'm just kind of. I know I've seen.
Purists would say to pull them one at a time.
Oh my gosh! Well, yeah. And then you kind of hang it up and let it kind of twirl out to straighten itself. Get its little wiggle out, and then kind of. Yeah, how's that? Okay, and then we got this. So I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. I hope nobody was traveling and got messed up with all of the winter storm Elliot, who was intent on ruining most people's Christmases if they were traveling. We looked that up yesterday to see when did they start naming winter storms. And they started naming winter storms in 2018. I thought it was
2012.
more.
I thought it was 2012.
You're right, 2012. Yes, 2012. And it was, what did they say? It was the weather channels, not the National Weather Service. So the government had nothing to do with it. So, and when you think about it, it's a pretty good marketing ploy. Instead of saying there's a big storm coming, give it a name. And I'm assuming they started with A like they do with hurricanes. So, and Elliot came through and wreaked havoc. I guess they ended up canceling over 5,000 flights. And my friends
yesterday, the flights out of Colombia were one after another.
Now I wonder whether that was because they had diverted people to Colombia, or Colombia was a destination.
That's what I'm thinking, because we're not generally a go-to point. It's always Charlotte. But if Charlotte was backed up, they could send people here and make them sit for a while, even on our tarmac.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then just get you back in the air, depending on how long the wait was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, how far is Charlotte from Columbia?
From my house, it takes me an hour and a half, and I'm 10 minutes from the Columbia airport. So if somebody could fly into Columbia, then they could rent a car and drive that hour and a half and be home.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so there's ways to get around the airlines.
Right. Yeah. And my friend's sister, who was visiting from Ireland, she went up to Nashville to visit their other sister. And then Nashville got clobbered. absolutely clobbered and obviously shut down. She was supposed to come home Tuesday to here, to Cape, to Orlando, flying to Orlando, but couldn't get out until today. That's how backed up
Wow.
it was. Oh, Owen was the name of one winter storm. Uh-oh. Was he old enough to realize it was named after him? Did he feel like he was special that a winter storm was named after him? I think as a kid that would be really cool. I have a winter storm named after me. I don't think. Well, I don't. Well, I don't know. In my memory, I don't ever recall a hurricane named Anne or Carol or Rebecca. I remember Hurricane David that came through Florida. I was trying to remember all the hurricanes that I have lived through since being in Florida for going on 23 years. I can't remember them all. I guess how lucky I am. Now, I know this is not, we're just stitching away. Oh, that looks great, Beck. Carol, you are going like a banshee, but you've been doing a lot of stitching. No,
Yeah,
okay.
I stitched it on my sewing machine.
Oh,
Cheater.
cheater.
No.
What I'm gonna do after is I'm gonna put some decorative stitching on it.
Okay, all right. All right, you're
So
allowed.
I'm just getting my base.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hand stitch all your pieces down, you can machine stitch your pieces down. And I used a buttonhole stitch around the centerpiece here, but I didn't do anything here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand stitch and have some flowers and stuff come up,
Well, that's a
or
good idea.
something else in it.
That's a good idea. Buttons, flowers.
Becca.
Ha ha ha.
So that's what I'm going to do on my front and back. And then I have a piece of wool
Ooh.
here.
Mm-hmm.
I have two matching pieces, which I'm surprised I do.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to add it onto here after I do my stitching. And then this is my spine.
Oh, okay. You're going to do two pieces? Cool.
Yeah, so this is my spine that goes around to the back, and then I'll have my back side.
Perfect. See all the different variations? That's awesome. Very awesome. I wonder if I could take this and start putting this in here just for fun and giggles. Yeah, after trying to sew through this cardboard, the sewing machine is looking more and more attractive, Carol. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Even though this cardboard is not that thick. And now as I'm doing this, I'm not sure I use cardboard, but it'll be fine once we add all the fabric to it. And I'm sure your fingers are sore because if you don't know, Carol has been doing this unbelievably beautiful quilt that
You
she's
really can't see, but they're getting sore, calloused right now.
yeah.
They were sore, but they're not anymore. But they're really well needle pricked.
Well, I wonder, Carol's probably been stitching
Since
over,
4 o'clock this morning.
well, and every day.
Every day since I completed piecing it.
Mm-hmm. And they're tiny little white stitches. And there's
It's actually
thousands of them.
cream color, but yeah.
So I can understand why the sewing machine probably looks pretty attractive at this point.
Well, like I said, I was stitching this morning, so I got quite a bit done while I was sitting here. And
Yeah. Well, maybe you can show it to us if you would be so kind. I'm sure everybody would love to see it. I will make you big if you can grab it.
I'm like a third of the way, I would say, not halfway, but a third of the way done.
Let me make Carol big so you can see this. It's just amazing. It's the most beautiful thing. And she pretty much has used all of her scraps. She's got hardly any material left.
Yep, it was all scraps. This is like scraps from my hexagon quilt. This
So,
stuff.
so that's really saying something. If it's, wait a minute, not too long. The fact that Carol had lots of scraps and now there are none.
Yeah, none left. Let me just find my quilted spot. I still have them. Oh, I sit on it.
And it keeps her warm.
Sorry.
Oh, she's got all sorts of thimbles, Nettie. I mean, really cool thimbles with special ridges in them and leather ones. But look at all those stitches. God, and look how straight and even they are. That just.
Oh, I can't use a thimble on the under finger. It just will not work for me. I've made multiple quilts. I've done quite a few queen size quilts. And right now I'm just finishing up this area over here, and my needle is still in there, and I'm just finishing up here, and then I have to do this side. And I do not use a hoop, and I do not use a quilt whatever you want to call them, hoop stand, anything. It's just I'm sitting here just like this, stitching while I'm watching people or talking with people, but it's coming along beautifully. This is here, and don't mind the husky fluff because it happens.
Yeah. It'll be defluffed when it's older.
So some of my bigger pieces, the random pieces, I equal it out, and then I do around the border. The jelly roll strips, I just outline around the outsides. All the bigger pieces will be diagonal, going this way, whether it be one way or the other, and that's where I am at there. So you can see here, both the bigger pieces, this one goes this way, this one goes this way. My stitching is going on all different directions because I feel it gives it more strength than if you have it just going up and down. And I prefer hand quilting to machine quilting. So
it's gorgeous.
That's where I am. Lots of little things. And I decide which way to go once I get there. So
a lot of material, lots of scraps.
And this one was a big one. So I had this one actually go into a V. Even though I edge each square all around, every square gets an edging. So that's what I've been doing.
Beautiful. And it's what you're calling it, a queen king?
It's a queen king. It will fit on a king size bed, but it perfectly hangs down very far to over the box springs of queen.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, she did hand piece it, I think.
Not that one. I hand pieced my hexagon one. That one was all machine pieced. It's all hand quilted.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm confused. Oh, when you say it's machine, it means the big pieces were stitched.
That whole thing was sewn together on the sewing machine.
Oh, okay. And now you're doing.
And now I'm hand quilting it.
Okay.
My hexagon one, when you have all your hexagons, it will fit the top of a queen, but I hand stitched hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these to fit on like an accent on top of a queen, it will sit on top of the bed. All of those I hand pieced.
Oh, wow.
So it took me about a year to finish. Well, I just finished it. So, but I put it off to the side for a while. But
Mm-hmm.
it's actually 2 years in the making. And the first year was all hand piecing. And then the second year I started the border. And now I'm ready to quilt it.
Amazing. And then you had to cut out all the hexagons.
Yep, I had to cut it all out and put all the little cut all my papers first, and then I had to cut all my little things and baste them. So
Oh, that's right. You showed me. Then you
yeah,
peel
so
the paper off.
this one is basted by thread. Some of them I did by glue. I'm finding I prefer, even though it takes longer, doing it with the thread, because you go back through and you just pick it off and you don't have to worry about no glue mess after. Anyway, that's what I do.
Yeah, beautiful. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
It's beautiful. I mean, I feel that I could maybe do that. Maybe, well, I don't know.
You can. Your machine would let you quilt, and
Oh,
it's doing it in sections. Like even if
right.
you quilted a square, right?
Yeah.
If you stitch together a square and then you slowly put all your squares together, it would work.
Yeah, it
It
would
would.
work. I mean, that's just, yeah, I think it would be fun just to take, again, it's just like taking all these random pieces. Now, you obviously you had a design-ish kind of thing going.
Only in my hexagon quilt did I have. When I pieced the Queen King, it was whatever I pulled out and whatever fit. It
Right.
wasn't.
Okay. Right.
It didn't have anything to do. There was no design. It's
Okay.
just random, very random.
Okay. But you had big squares and rectangular, thinner squares, and then
Yeah, it's whatever I had, I threw
whatever you
in.
had. But yeah, because over the last year or two, when I became even, aware of fabric, I have bought, like, what do you call it? A fat, or I don't know,
That quarter.
fat quarter, and then there's,
Yeah.
but not expensive. Like 50, what are they, 8x8 sheets of, fabric. And it's printed on one side from Amazon, but I'm thinking, well, that could all be, I guess, all sewn together. And then,
A fat quarter is 18 by 22. A
Oh, okay.
flat quarter is the width of your fabric by 9 inches.
Now we have the pro. Now we have the pro talking.
Now, what are the squares? When you buy like 50 squares of material and they're all the same size?
Well,
it's
what
just,
size were the squares? If they're 5 inches, they're called nickels. If they're a 10-inch square, they're called a cake square.
they're 10-inch squares. I know that.
So you got a cake.
I got a cake. Okay.
A cake is 40 10-inch squares.
Okay. That's what I got. And then they sell those little tiny, like 4x4 blocks at Walmart. And I guess those little 4x4 blocks are used for. I did buy some Timmy. I did buy some Timmy material by the yard. And then I bought some Alice in Wonder material for my Alice in Wonder land journal, and I didn't like the material. And so I've got all this Alice in Wonderland material, and I should give it away or offer it to somebody who might be able to use it. I'll have to show it to you, maybe, because I'm never going to use it. And maybe someone would like it, and maybe someone might want to do an Alice journal. So this is slow going, but if you're hanging in there with us, and I appreciate that, I could whip out the sewing machine and speed it up some, but I'm just going to do another piece or two here and then maybe cheat a little. How you doing, Becky? Whoops. Becky. Let me go back. I see a cat.
Yes. I was over at the sewing machine.
Ah, are you sewing?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm going to sew too. Don't hate me, folks. We'll never get this done. I didn't realize it was. Now, yeah, I'm going to sew. My sewing machine. And put you all up. Ah. And speaking, oh, good morning, Violet. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. Nettie got a hand sewing machine that her kids gave her, handheld. And I have one of those. And I said to Nettie, oh, I don't know, Nettie. I was not very successful in using it. And Nettie used it, and she showed me a picture last night of what she stitched, and it came out very well. So it must be me, which is not surprising. I bought a sewing machine on Amazon a while ago, and many of you know about it. It's the time I paid $59 for it. And I've been messing around with it. And it sews through cardboard. No, she did. She used that. I can't call it dinky anymore. It's just we have to be respectful because it's a handheld sewing. Here. Lily, I'm not feeding you. No, 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 no. Stop saying no. Say yes. No. Stop it. Sorry, folks. I'm sure you don't want to hear me yelling at my cat, but I think this is it, right? This is what you got? Nettie, you're very close to it. I think this is the... Mine came with a whole bunch of bobbins, little mini bobbins for different colors of threads, and but Nettie, you got a really nice stitch on yours. I have not been that lucky, but I think that's it. I think this is very similar to the one that... Oh, Beth. I've never heard that. I'm not saying that that's not a fact, but Beth's saying that Lily's extra hungry because of the cooler weather.
Just spoiler. Hi, Violet. Hi, Marty.
I've never heard that. I'm not saying that that couldn't be the case. Oh, here's a piece of the... Good morning, Marty. Thank you so much for being here. This is a piece of my Alice in Wonderland material. And this design kind of repeats itself. So it just doesn't do anything for me. And I don't know what I was cutting out here. I don't know what I was going to make out of this. God only knows. I don't think it was one of Becky's owls, but well, this is the material that I don't know. The lady was a good salesman. They are getting their fat pack under their belly. It's true. Okay. All right. Kind of makes sense. I mean, if she was an outdoor cat, I would say yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I'm gonna ask you folks to not get too be patient. I'm gonna whip out the sewing machine too, like, and hopefully we can move along with this because it really is. The end product is really kind of a fun thing to do. So here is my sewing machine. I can pick it up. It weighs about 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. And this is it. It's definitely crafting, and it doesn't have much. It does go low and high. It goes backwards, and it has 12 stitches. And sometimes it stitches what it says it's going to stitch, and sometimes it does its own thing, and you don't get what you thought you were going to get. But and I think it's neat. It actually has a metal bobbin. And I also found out, I learned the hard way, but I learned from Eileen Lyons that there are different quality of. I thought thread was thread, and it turns out that that's not the case. There's better thread than other threads, and so I switched to a better thread, a more expensive thread, and that seems to do the job. It really does, because the other cheaper thread I was using, it was breaking all the time. This thread does not break at all. It really is pretty impressive, and it'll stitch right through this cardboard without much. I better not say anything until after it does it, because you don't want to. And I'll do a ziggy zag, and I'll mute for a second. And it'll be the song of where am I? How do I mute me? Oh, there I am. Is that how I mute me? Oh, there I am. Okay. Welcome to Ann's Sweatshop.
Kathy, what Anne is showing us today is her pocket journal that she created a fabric cover for.
Here it is. And it's got a fabric.
So we're all making the same thing
with different fabrics, but the same thing. And I thought, oh, we'll just sit around and happily stitch it by hand, and then realize that that's not going to work time-wise. So Carol broke ranks and was the first, and all of a sudden Carol comes and sits down and says she's done. So now she's ready to do some of Carol's infamous, beautiful stitching, because
I'm going to add on to that.
She's done because she used her sewing machine. So we've all kind of decided to break ranks and run for the sewing machine. So you can hear sewing machines in the background, which is good. It's a nice sound. Right?
Dixie, yeah, exactly. And sweatshop, people happily working for no pay at all.
There you go. That's, yeah, well, yes, absolutely. That's true. Happily sewing along. The happy stitchers or not. It was, oh, here's that. No, did I forget that? I pulled that out. I love that red stuff. After doing the African fabric, I just craving that color. So let's see. Well, here's some colorful stuff. My bag. Oh, trips. Oh, look at this. Oh, oh, is that not gorgeous? I'm so excited. Look at that. That's got to go on the front. All right, I'm going to do some of this. I think this may have been some of the African fabric from. I mean, I never knew the world of fabric even existed. I mean, I know about you know what I mean, but in the sense of doing artwork with it and turning art with it, it's fun. And she's got her essential stitch guide book. I have
Well, I actually have a couple of them out, but I'm trying to decide what I want to do on the front of my.
Mm-hmm. No. I'm gonna do some beads because I think they look cute. I can't use all of this, so I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. I love the color.
You're welcome, Kathy.
Hmm?
Yeah, she has quite a few books out. Judith Baker Montano. You know, you can find them pretty much all over, and I love her other book that I have. I don't have it out here at the moment, but there's quite a bit that she's very established. Marty. Sorry.
Yes. Well, this is true. I have to say that I've enabled people to buy stitch books, and Carol has enabled me. So I think now, actually, I found two on my own. So I have three. I have three stitch books, and man, some of the stuff is just gorgeous, especially the embroidery stuff. And I actually did crewel work many years ago. I don't know what the difference is between crewel and embroidery.
It's the what you're using, the types of threads. It's basically the same, but you're using more thicker yarns with the crewel.
Yeah. I remember,
but it's almost the same.
I remember it come and they were like this floss stuff, as I recall. When you pulled it apart, but it came. But when you did it, it came. The material had the design printed on it. You know
but if you
I mean?
stick with us for Fiber Art Fridays, we're going to be getting into a lot of this type and style and design. So we've got lots to look forward to in the new year. So gather up all your scraps and laces and whatnots and get it ready.
I even figured out how to convert this into how to suppress the dog feed. No, the feed dog. No, you feed the dog first. Feed dog.
Yeah. I love that. She does it all the time.
Did I have it? No, it's feed dog, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I feed the dog first. Yeah. To do the, what do you call it? Free motion?
Yes.
Yeah. That is cool. We're going to be doing that too, right?
Yes, we are.
And if you've ever done that, that is just, you're just all over the place. And I can take this cheap little thing and I can take off the foot here and then cover this whole plate where the the feed dogs are, with a piece of plastic and put a hole so the needle goes up and down, and then you can just go all over the place. I might even do some of that on this, and you can get. I mean, it's hard. Well, It is. There's a learning curve there because you got to know, you got to keep your hands out of the way because it's really easy to slip your finger or two. Which is, I imagine, but I guess, Carol, right? In the more expensive sewing machines, there's a thing that you can just switch and it'll automatically drop those things.
You have to yourself. You manually put your feed dogs down.
Right, but there's
It's
like
a little switch. Yes.
there's a toggle switch or something that automatically. Yeah. Okay.
Violet, thanks. Yes, we're going to actually do free motion on fabric as well as water soluble stuff. So we're going to make lace as well as making just designs. We got a lot coming. So hopefully everybody sticks with us and we're going to have a lot of fun. And it was Stitch Camp, Anne. It was Stitch Camp. So we've got lots coming. So this was all of 2022, and 2023 we're going to take it into smaller portions and be using it in everything else we have. That's my goal. I want everything we do to be used in our projects. I don't want to have just something just sitting around. So we're going to do so many different things. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I pulled out some thread. Some of these things I received as Happy Mail, and some I received as just gifts, just because somebody was downsizing stuff, and it's like, it's really cool because I never had some of this stuff, so it's fun to play with new and exciting things.
This goes a lot faster when you're stitching, that's for sure. Goes a lot faster with the sewing machine.
It does go a lot faster.
I have two different threads, and I guess it's working. I have like a beigey thread on the bottom and a brown on the top, but you can't really. Yeah. Now, this particular sewing machine, I guess there's a tension wheel, right? It's called a tension wheel that sets the tension in terms of your stitches. This has one, but I think it's just one. I think it's really for show. I don't know that I don't think it really does anything. And I know there's some people that have sewing machines that haven't taken them out or are afraid to use them. And hopefully what we're doing here will encourage you to get out those machines if you haven't used them and thread them up.
Janet's bought new threads, new needles, and new bobbins, and she hopes to get her machine to play nice. She says, much to look forward to. Kathy Cowell's excited about the monthly snippet roll. And Marty's got variegated threads, and everybody's got so many new things, and they're excited, and they are enjoying Fiber Art Friday. And yes, your thrift stores are really a nice place to pick up and look for, as Becky knows, because she's been scoring left, right, and center when she goes.
That Becky has
Lucky bugger.
Amazing. Yeah.
She's got some amazing deals.
She's got the bins. It's like she's got the bins, but it's not the bins. It's the bins.
Oh,
She gets the best stuff at the bins. The bins, the bins, the bins.
pins.
And that's at her Goodwill. My Goodwill doesn't have any bins.
I haven't been to a thrift store in mega years. So one day.
And the other crafting buddy of ours, Mary Lou, up in Rhode Island, boy, she's got a thrift store. And it's the stuff that she comes away out of that store with. It's not, well, I don't think it's, well, I guess there's fabric and buttons and stuff like that. But it's amazing. And it's only open, I think she said yesterday, she said it's only open 2 days a week from 9 a.m. to noon. And I tell you, she comes away with stuff like you would not believe. And we don't have any. Again, my Goodwill store has really turned basically into a clothing store and a couple of other things. It really doesn't have much crafting but I haven't been back. I mean, they have books. So I'm going to mute myself again because this machine.
Hi, Monkey Mary. Nice to see you. Today we're making a pocket journal fabric cover, and Anne's walked us through the steps, and we're all kind of doing our own style of it. And you can see Becky's a very traditional piecer. When you see what Becky's doing, and she's opening up her seams so she doesn't have as much bulk when she stitches over. But she's doing a very traditional piecing. I just overlapped mine and I left the raw edges. And I have stitched down around the outside, and I used my machine and did a buttonhole stitch around my center fabric. And Anne is stitching all of hers down on her machine.
Mine's a hot mess, but and I think to expedite, I'm just going to finish this up, and then for the back, I'm probably just going to put one piece of fabric so I can move on to the next step. And,
well, this is for the inside that I'm working on now.
Okay.
This I did on the sewing machine, and it overlaps, and I've used different stitches.
Okay. That's look at the kitty face.
Oh, I love that material. Look at that.
That's so
Do they have puppy dogs like that?
Yeah. They should.
Oh, wow.
I would imagine they would have dogs, right?
In fact, the novelty fabric in how it is placed at Joann's always leads with cats and dogs.
Oh, wow.
Cats, dogs, other animals, and then it goes into like space and kitchen and sewing and that kind of thing. I remember all those stupid rules even now.
See, my Joann's is far away, and with traffic and everything, it would take about an hour to get there.
Oh God.
So
I don't think it's worth that long of a drive, but
it's highway driving 95, and then you get off 95, and then you're on another road where it's traffic light after traffic light after traffic light. And I think I've only been inside that store once since I've lived here, because it was, yeah. I would have to make and down that way also is a Barnes and Noble. So if I ever ventured down that way, I would probably make a day of it, go to Barnes and Noble and
Make a day
Joann's and
of
pick
it.
up books and fabric all at once. Sometimes it gets away from me and I forget to put the presser foot down and then it's like free motion, isn't it? Woohoo! Okay, I'm almost there, folks. It's coming. I like the colors. It's kind of colorful. Yeah. I think this is a little Timmy piece here. A wee Timmy piece. You know, it would be fun if we did something like this. I didn't think of it, but if I had drawn like I did with the cat, the fabric cat that I did, that was
A collage.
Yeah, you could draw a picture on this and then fill it in, and it's like a
That's for
mosaic.
another time.
Yes, it is. It is for another time. That did come out good. So. And okay. And the other thing we're going to be doing, right, Carol, is fabric, like art, like wall hanging quilt typey things.
Yeah.
Because man, some of that stuff is just drop dead gorgeous, as they would say in New York. Absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, look at this piece. Floral gems. Ooh. Have to cut that out. Let's see this right here. I like the word. Let me see that over here. Ooh, yes. All right, I'm going to stick that right there. Whoops. Cover that there. Oh my God. If you could see Lily, she's sitting on top of the chair. Both legs hanging over the side of the top of the chair. And if looks could kill or looks could speak, it would be. Why? I have to mute because this.
You know, this is the second time I've done this. I stitched around my fabric instead of.
Oh no.
This is like crap. You can tell where my mind is today.
What'd you do? I missed it.
Oh, I sewed around the whole thing the second time, and it's the second time I did it.
Oh. Okay. All right, I have one little piece left to put in, and then what? And then let's see, that could go there.
All right, I got my front and my back.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm so far behind. Now, did you have a substrate or did you just sew the pieces together?
Well, this has a piece of batting
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to make it squish, to give it a little poofiness. And then
Poofiness.
this is just pieced randomly and then cut to the same size.
I should have used batting. I have some too, and I
I
oh,
just use a piece of linen to throw mine on.
mm-hmm.
And then that's what I have also for my spine is another piece of linen. So I'll be putting this on top of this, then it will stiffen it up a little. But mine is more going to be a flexible book than a hard book.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mary, that's senior moment. Yes, it's more of a, I won't go there, but yes.
I might put some of these hexagons Carol sent me on here on my inner piece just as overlay. Like that.
Yeah, I was debating on using those and then I didn't because I pulled them all out and I was going to add one, but I could because then it would stiffen it up, give it a
I
different
also
look.
have the cats you sent me. I'll save those for somewhere. I can use the whole kitty though. I'd be cutting his tail off on this one. That one. Let's see here.
No, I'm not. So here's my front, and I think I'll add,
Ooh, pretty.
Oh, that came out nice.
and then I have a little piece here that needs to be, but let's see. I think I'm going to use one piece to cover the back, just to cover the back. And I think I will use, I love this stuff. What do you call it? Ticking?
Yeah.
I love it. So I think I will have just the whole back will be ticking. Now this is the stuff they used to cover what, mattresses in and pillows in?
Feather pillows usually.
Oh
Pillows
yeah. Yeah. I remember those goose down, and those feathers would sometimes pop through and they could hurt. So this will be, I'm going to cheat a little bit to speed this up. So I should probably get out the doohickey, whatchamacallit, huh? Let's see if I can do that. Let me do this. Take this, put that there. Move this up on top of the keyboard. Take that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay. I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. As long as nobody answers. Okay. I'll get out this. Move this. Oh no! Whoops. My thread just came off there. No, don't do that.
Oh, Marty brought the trolley. Yes, snacks would be great about now.
What did she have?
She brought the food trolley in the chat.
Oh, well, what? Did I see blueberry muffins right now? Oh, you would love a blueberry muffin. Yeah. Yeah.
So Marty brought the trolley.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't that be great? These things work so well, don't they? whatever they're called.
The rotary cutter?
Yes. It just, well, it would help if I had it
Hi,
up again.
Sophia.
Hey, Sophia. Nice to see you again today. Oh, no. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're making cloth pocket journals for the new year. And I can show you my finished one from last year. If I can find it. It's buried under all of this somewhere. Oh, here it is. Oh my. This is the end product. Material pieced together, material pieced together. And then I stitched in some paper, random paper, and put a little closure on it. And I made it, you know, so it would fit in a back pocket or in a small purse. And that's what we're all making today. And we're all doing it, but they're different, but the same. Does that make sense? Instead of piecing together my back piece, in order to speed this up, I'm going to just put one piece of fabric covering the back. And then I'll go to putting the journal, the paper part of it together. And then maybe some embellishments like beads or buttons, buttocks, buttons. You sit on your buttocks. Okay. Oh, Lily. You poor starving kitty. Oh, starving kitty. All right. All right. I'm going to just do a straight stitch. I'll put myself on mute. I came unthreaded, the dread. I have to thread my thingy. That's that would be the really number one advantage of buying a new sewing machine. Most of them thread for you, I think, right?
No.
Oh, yours doesn't?
No, you have to thread it yourself unless you get an air threader. And that's mostly, I think, just on sergers, right, Becky?
I think so. I have a threader on my machine that I just kind of lay the thread around, and it
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
needle,
what I meant.
needle,
Yeah,
needle
that's what I
threader.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I meant that. That's fine. Well, I found out that a little tip that you probably already know, but I like to thread it without the thingy, because with this machine, it have to be a contortionist. But if I take a little piece of white paper and just put it behind the needle, it just highlights the hole. And it's really easy to find the hole. That's
Hi, Kathy Arbor.
Hi, Kathy.
Thank you, Nettie. So there's what I started on this one. I still have one more little edge to go.
Oh, that looks cute.
I will probably embroider the word notes here.
Oh, that's a great idea. Come on.
And I may practice using the alphabet on my machine to do it.
Oh, that's even better yet. How many different fonts do you have?
I have uppercase and lowercase. I have block printing and script.
Oh, cool. That is nice. See, I've already threaded my machine. And I'll take out my bobbin.
Fat squirrel just went across my roof. Boom, 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 boom.
Don't the cats listen to that and say, well, can I go chase that?
Oh, it's nap time right now. Everybody's asleep. Howard's in the chair, Callie's in the basket, and Tippy's probably laid up against Scott because Scott's not up yet. Scott worked on the bathroom yesterday, so he's a little sore.
Oh,
But the good news is the walls are all covered in something now.
Oh,
that's
well,
good.
congratulations. That's wonderful news.
Headway.
He said there's not a straight wall in that bathroom because house was built in 1960. He said nothing's straight.
I'll tell you what, though, even the newer houses, they're still not straight.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worse than the older houses, but they're still not straight.
Because people, yeah.
Scott said a lot of the guys were drinkers back then in the
Yeah.
60s. It might have been high too. Who knows?
Well, that's probably true too. All right. Off to sewing. I'm already.
I love the way pillow ticking looks too. I think it's really nice in totes. If you want to make like craft totes or project totes, ticking makes a
Yes.
wonderful lining.
Like toast.
You like toast? I was saying totes, Tote, not Toast.
Toast, yes. Breakfast is good.
Oh, you saying
Who is
toast or
serving?
color? She's talking about color. Oh, don't do that toast.
No tote. Oh, I've lost my chat. It fell to the behind when I moved around. Back up here. Everybody's laughing at you, Scott.
Is he
Okey-doke.
making you breakfast this morning?
Oh, goodness. Sounds like he woke up full of the beans this morning. Watch out. Oh, gosh.
So there's my one backing, one side.
Oh, that's cute.
And I'll probably add little other flowers around this. And then just put the notes in. And then I will buttonhole stitch or satin stitch around this.
That's pretty. Kathy wants to know, Carol, do you go to Len's Mill?
I used to. I love Lens Mills. Talk about a fabric selection of everything and anything.
Oh, wow.
It has all kinds of fabrics. It's for all your quilting. It's got leather. It's got beads. It has everything in it. Like it's a massive, I guess, Joann's, but it has craft stuff and everything. Like
Oh, cool.
it's a really huge place, and they have batting and stuff on the roll where they just roll it off for you for the width you need, and it's huge.
That's cool. Sounds
How
like that
far
place.
away is that from you? Carol?
I'm sorry?
How far away would that be from where you are?
Half hour.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, that's even worse, right? It's close.
Well, I don't have a car to get there, so, you know.
Yeah, I know. But... Oh, dear, I missed a whole side here. Oops, gotta do that. Sorry.
What were you thinking?
I don't know there. I
Ooh.
missed, oh, I missed
Oh,
that.
well, if you're going to add extra little stuff on it, you could fill that in with something else, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to put a stitch there, and then I know where I'm going to put some beads.
So Becky's waiting on you for the next
Well, I
step.
did the different stitches on my sewing machine. I need to practice with that some more, but
Yeah, me too, because some of them it's like, you know, can you lengthen the stitch or make it bigger or, you know, because they look so small.
yeah, all of it can be changed and it makes a big difference. I just need to play with it some to learn how to do. Oh.
Now my back is, now this has got that stitch. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. All right. So this basically, I'm not going to, do any of the embellishments on this one. I'm going to go ahead and continue with making the little pocket thing. So clean this up a little bit. It's got a lot of fur, little hair here, little stitch here. So this is basically it. And that's a big gap there, but I'll fill that in with something. So I'm going to fold it in half. And do I want the stripes going this way? Or do I want the stripes going this way? Another artistic decision that has to be made. Vertical or horizontal. And what do I want to be the front?
So I need to sew my lining to my front now.
Yeah, they should be together.
Okay. I will.
And
do
while you
that.
do that, I have to put a piece of fabric right here because I can't have that gap. I just will not sleep at night with that gap. It's got to be filled in. Sorry. A little anal here. I got a little bit of, I got a little piece of cherry. So we'll put a little piece of cherry there. And then I'll be able to fold it in half without having a gap. Of a gap here. Yeah, okay. And then that'll work. A little, how big do I need to do that? Let's not make it too big. There, all right, perfect. Little tiny piece, I'm gonna stick that right there. And patch that, and then it should be good to do. I'll do a Ziggy's egg. Ugh, this has 12 stitches, but it really doesn't have.
I think I'm going to do a blanket stitch to hold my layers together by hand. Howard, you look so sweet.
The hole is filled. I won't have that gap when I fold it. Because, of course, when you have that hole, you know it's going to be right on the seam. Right on the fold. Dead center. I could have guaranteed it. And now I got this mess back here. But no one's going to look at that. Because there's going to be paper. I'm going to put paper in this because it's a journal, after all. And what's a journal without paper? Put paper. All right. There. All right, here we go. So here it is. I'm just folding mine in half. And if I had time, I would probably go around and do the whatever that stitch is called, where you sew
The buttonhole or whip stitch?
The whip stitch, yes. I would probably do that. And like I did that on this one, kind of. So, all right. Well, this is just going to be your standard 3-hole. I think I put 3 holes in here. Let me just double check. Yeah, 3 holes. I got my awl out. I'm just going to eyeball it, do good old eyeballs. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And I think I'll use some of this thread. I ended up buying this gigantic thing of this. Why? I don't know. I will never use this all up. Someone else will use it, hopefully. I'm going to get one of my bigger needles with the big hole in it to make it easier. Like so. Like so.
So the stitch I've been using on this over my seams where my fabric overlays is the feather stitch or fly stitch.
Oh, I love that stitch. I've tried that. I have to say, I've tried doing that feather stitch numerous times, and I have not been successful in figuring it out, but I will. I'm not going to give up. I have trouble sometimes with direction and my brain understanding what direction I should be going in. Is that, I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I think it's called dyslexia. I know a lot of people have dyslexia. It's no excuse. I'm going to go through this a second time, and then I'll come back and finish it off.
Oops. It helps if you put the knot in the end of your string. String. You keep pulling it out, and it's like, why is this not staying? What a day. It didn't start off. I didn't sleep last night, so it did not start out very well.
Yeah. When do you sleep, Carol? Let's be honest.
Well, the body's not feeling well either, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right now. But I'm here.
Yes, and I did it. I always do it. I always do that. Oh, this. Oh, drives me crazy. I'm not paying attention. All right. All right. That's okay. Stitch it again. Oh my God, people. Everyone watch me do this. What's missing? What's wrong with this picture? Anybody?
Hey, what did you do? You started in the middle?
Paper. I didn't put any paper.
That's funny. Oh my God. Today's a brain dead day.
Hey, geez Louise. Oh my lordy, Gordy, or Gordy, and everyone. Great journal. If you don't want any paper in it, super.
It has imaginary paper.
Shit. I'm saying shit. I'm sorry.
It's
this is an adult channel, and I could say a lot worse than shite. So, as the Irish would say, oh, shite.
Yeah, really.
When the Irish curse, it sounds so much better. I just have to tell you. You ever heard true Irish?
It is Friday, so it's cocktails at 11, right?
Yes.
Bloody Marys, yeah. God, I haven't even drank. I haven't drinking, not drinking yet. All right. It's okay. No, guess what? At least I have the paper handy. I don't have to go look for it. I at least have that much together. You're laughing. Ha ha ha. I got some yellow paper that's really old. Fold it that way. Fold it that way. Yeah, we want it that way. It'll be fine, folks. It'll be fine. It's very artistic. Yes, yes. Thank you, Rebecca. All compliments are greatly appreciated. Some graph paper, right? Thank you, Marty. Thanks for the tutorial on how to sew in nothing, Ian. Yeah, I tell you what, it takes a lot of skill. It's going to be like the Emperor's New Clothes. You have to write with an invisible pen and pretend there's stuff there. That's all.
And you know, nobody will be able to read it, and you can write down any explicits you want.
That's right. No one will. It'll be secret code. Like Da Vinci, Da Vinci wrote backwards in all of his notebooks. So if you wanted to see what he'd written, you had to hold his notebook up to a mirror.
That's pretty cool.
He was, oh my God, talk about a character. Woo, was he funny. I mean, obviously genius. You know, he never really finished the Mona Lisa. The guy that commissioned it never really got it. And he carried it with him wherever he went because he was always kind of intent on finishing it. And he died in some count's villa who had taken him in as a Patreon. And he, well, I know many of you know, but he was an architect, a designer, a mechanical engineer. You know, he designed blueprints for the first helicopter and all sorts of like waterworks around cities for drainage purposes. And he truly was the Renaissance man. Let's see, let's see, Gail. Sorry, I've missed anyone's comments to me. My eyes aren't working. Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry, your eyes are not working this morning. I'm putting all the paper together, so I'm just going to cut it once. And I have some of this paper that I really like. It's perspective paper. It's it's 1 point perspective paper. Oh, okay. Interesting. Mary's saying last night she watched a documentary on John Lennon and Yoko. I used to be an early Beatles fan and loved John then. But holy cow, I have no idea what happened to that man's brains. I think it's called
Yoko Ono. That's what
I
happened
think
to
it was
his
Yoko
brain.
Ono, and LSD may have had something to do with.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, a lot of people blame her for their split up. Again, I think we were talking about this in Rosemary's Stream. I was just devastated, absolutely devastated when he was assassinated. Oh my God, just devastated. All right, so this is it. This is the paper that's going to get sewn in here. And I'm just going to kind of, again, eyeball it. And we'll try it one more time, right? We'll sew in the paper. This time there will be paper. There will be paper. And I'm just going to put a mark here and kind of a mark here.
Oh, I shouldn't have started it that close.
Mark here. And a mark here. All right, here we go. I almost grabbed my fabric scissors.
Oh, sinful.
I know. What's the name of the guy that shot him? It wasn't Hinckley was the guy that shot Reagan, right? I can't remember. I think. He shot him right outside the Dakota, which was the apartment building that he was living in. Very expensive. Obviously, Manhattan. There. Look. Paper. Now, I didn't put a lot of paper in here again because it was. I want to finish it. Now, what are the chances of finding the holes that I already put? Well, I could actually maybe go this way. Can I do that? That's probably not a good idea. Oh, I did. Oh, it did kind of work. There. All right. And I don't know where that hole is. So we'll just make another one because. Here we go. There we go. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. And got 8 minutes. Okay. Ta-da. I hope, literally, I really sincerely hope that you guys will maybe make one of these because they're fun
And post pictures.
And practical.
Yes, and post pictures in our groups so we can see what you've done.
Yeah, if you are, that would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Just finding the hole. Come on, where's the hole? Where's the hole? It's really hard to see the hole in the fabric, you know. And that's not that hole. Where was that hole?
I'm doing a buttonhole stitch. Now I used a piece of wool for my back here to put this on. And when you use wool, it's so nice because even though I stitched it on, you can't see my stitches on the back side because I'm not going all the way through my fabric. So that's another little thing with wool when you're using wool. I'm stitching it. It's not coming off, but it's stitched into my fabric, but it's stitched in the top layer of the wool fabric.
Oh, that's
so you don't see my stitches on the back side. And this is what you learn when you make your wool pennies and your anything with wool. You know, you want to make those candle mats. We'll be playing with some of that, mug rugs. I will show you how to do that. So that's more up and coming Fiber Art Friday.
Mud rugs. Coasters? Mud rug?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's when you have, and you're going to work with different types of fabrics, and especially wools. Wools really are, you know, easy. And when you make your wool pennies, this is how you stitch them on. You're not going all the way through because you don't want that to show on the back side of your fabric when you're stitching all of your layers and your pennies together. Because sometimes when you're making your pennies, you're not necessarily putting a backing onto it. And if you do add your pennies to the backing, this is what you want to do so you don't see your stitches. Just a tip.
I know nothing. I have no idea what a wool penny is, so I'll find
It's
out.
a piece of wool cut in a circle.
The owl we made.
Okay. That makes sense.
Back when those were a thing, weren't the pennies bigger?
Some are. Yes. The wool pennies are usually, I think, a 3, a 2, and a 1 if you layer up 3 layers.
Gotcha.
My floss, I divided in half.
And I'm using all 6 on mine.
I divided mine in half.
And I didn't. I used sewing machine. So, but the ones I did hand sew, I used 2 strands. Oh, come on. Just go in there, will you please? Be nice. Be nice. Okay, don't be nice.
Nettie. Yeah, there'll be some fun stuff. You know, we're gonna have some fun stuff. Well, I will happening in my group as well, off of YouTube. So if you don't belong, we're going to be having just stuff happening in the group.
I totally screwed this up.
Just for my group subscribers.
I'm going to tie this off, even though it's not. It should be in the middle, but it's not in the middle. But I'm going to tie it off anyway. It's not going to go anywhere.
Becky, Monkey Mary wants to know, where did you find those clear sticky things? I know they're called something that Becky used the other day. Where can she find those?
Oh, clear sticky things. Clear sticky things.
Joanne's. I don't know.
Thank you, Janet.
Don't listen to
What
me.
was I making?
Yes, you're talking to the woman who does everything.
I'm trying to think of what I was making that I used clear sticky things.
Oh, come on, Ann. Was it fabric related?
Because I know I was. Those round dots that you put fabric on the back.
Like snot
Like a
dots
bubble.
that hold the fabric temporarily in place until you sew it in? Is that?
I don't remember doing that. So, Mary, maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was somebody else. Because I don't remember that.
Okay, there you go. And then you can put a thingy on the end of this as a marker. This is a bit of a mess inside. However, I'm going to
make yourself bigger so everybody can see your finished product.
Oh, you would want that. I'm just kidding. All right. So here, and this is going to be, I'm going to put a little charm here. And the last finishing touch real quickly is, no, Lily, I'm not feeding you. I'm going to put a grommet. Punch a hole right in the middle ish. So I should have punched it from the other side. So I will punch it.
They're the glass. I had glass cabochons. I did not have sticky ones, but Sophia, on the other hand, had the sticky back cabochons.
There we go. Okay.
Mystery solved, right? This is this, you always have this thing that you throw everything in.
Mary.
And then you can't find it when it's thrown in there. So now I have to dump it out. Oh, my Lord. And then I find, that's not a good one. Find a good one. That's a good one. All right. So let me move this up here. And stick this in here. Okay. Okay, fingers crossed, everybody, please. Ta-da! Oh, look at that. All right. Now then, I'm ready. So open up this. Take out some of this. Stick this in here. Stick this. Oh, really? Let's see. How big do I want this? Well, probably about that big. So let me just. Almost there, folks. Thank you again. Thank you for stopping by this morning. This is really Carol's baby, and we'll be. And Carol said that there are really tons and tons of ideas, things that we're going to be working on. We have been brainstorming. We have notebooks filled with ideas. Ideas. All right. This is, yeah, you can't see what I'm doing because I'm fumbling. And of course, I didn't cut the elastic long enough. So I will have to do that again. But, yeah. Oh, my God, Ann. Oh. Sorry, folks. Let's see. I think painty. Oh, my Lord. You people must think I'm in. It's coming.
And Rebecca is on next. She's
okay. She's
getting
ready.
her coffee.
Is she getting her coffee?
She's getting her stream ready.
Okay. Thank you, Becca, for being so patient.
She's almost done, Rebecca. She's almost done.
Because a lot of times we kind of slow down so Becca can get herself situated. If you haven't been over to Rebecca's channel, it's a hoot. She's so much fun. Great attitude. Great group of people.
Yes, thank you everybody for being here.
Yep. She's got great streaming partners and she's got a great family of pets. I have a personal love for Jughead. I think Jughead is
He's a
awesome.
Sweetheart pup. Yes, he's a sweetheart pup.
And the name fits him. He's just like this big old happy brown dog, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Tomorrow we will continue on with all our fun at between 8 and 9 a.m. Actually, 8 or 9 a.m. You'll find a message on my chat. Tomorrow morning is the streamathon. So usually when I stream, the streamathon is going on and Rebecca will be streaming at that time. So keep posted and you'll see what's happening and links to follow and all that good stuff for the streamathon as well.
Yep. So there it is. And I would put something to cover that. I put a calendar in mine. Oops. Yeah, I printed out a calendar. If you wanted to, you could put a calendar in this for the 2023. I guess you can't, but that's one option. And then the closure. Again, this is, there you go. Stick it in your pocket. Take notes. There you go. Thank you so much for being here. See you tomorrow. I'm streaming 9:30 to 11:30 tomorrow night, and Janet Young comes in at 11:30 to 1:30 to bring in the new year. Carol's going to be hanging out with me.
Can you tell everybody stuff this morning because you're all big?
Oh dear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There we
All right.
go.
All right. Here's Carol. Oh dear. I have to do. Why is this
It's
so?
fine. Leave it just like that. That's good.
Okay.
You can see just barely where my stitches.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Give me a chance. There you are. That's so pretty. Purdy. Purdy, purdy. Yeah. I love.
So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. Becky's turn.
I know. I'm trying. Jeez, I'm going as fast as I can. Okay. I
Here we
love the
go.
kitties. I love the stitches. Oh,
And mine
man.
are visible. So, because I use fabric on the back.
That
And
looks
then
good.
this will get folded in half.
That's so cute.
Yep.
And I might just stitch a piece of fabric before I put the paper in. Stitch a piece of fabric here that's long like a ribbon. And then I can just tie it closed. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
a good idea. Yeah. Yep.
I'm thinking because I don't have any bands.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's that. Thank y'all.
So that's it. Thank you all for being here. And if you decide to make one again, share in Carol's group. We'd all love to see what you did. So we're on our way over to Rebecca's. So thank
Bye,
you again.
everybody.
Bye. Thank you for being here.